Good afternoon and welcome to this pilot edition of Directions, the interactive training and communications forum for the Medicaid community. I'm Todd Schwartzrock. Today we'll be bringing you a prototype of our team's proposed interactive distance learning capabilities. Joining us this afternoon are Kendra Dimond and John Fusto, both of Daylight Forensic and Advisory. Welcome, Kendra. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Todd.
Glad to be here.
So, Kendra, this teleconference isn't actually live this afternoon, but it could be. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
Well, Todd, this presentation is actually an example of how an actual multi-site class could be conducted for a live or an on-demand audience. And regardless of where the participants are located, everybody will have the ability to personally engage with instructors by asking and responding to questions. In fact, in just a minute, our viewers will have a chance to answer a sample pharmacy prescription question using their one-touch keypad.
Terrific. We'll have a pop quiz. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that. But I think it demonstrates the tremendous measurability and real ROI that using this technology in this forum can deliver. So moving on, John, you've just written a timely article in the June issue of Healthcare Financial Management entitled Medicaid Program Integrity on the Radar. There's a lot of focus now on fraud, waste, and abuse in the Medicaid community recently. But tell us, why did you write this piece? Why now?
Well, when CMS first announced the formation of this program, the MIP, it had been my experience that a lot of providers out there just really didn't understand the size and scope of this initiative. It is a serious and nationwide initiative by CMS, and the lack of knowledge by the providers, I felt, required at least some information to get out there so that they can get the message.
John, how does the education Medicaid integrity contractor fit into the big picture?
Well, the program itself is actually designed to do two things. The first is obviously to recoup monies that are lost due to fraud, waste, and abuse, but that's obviously already after the payment has gone out the door. The second is to prevent it from happening in the first place. And the best way to do that is through education of providers so that they have the opportunity or wherewithal to change, if needed, their compliance program or their monitoring of their compliance program so that they can make the necessary adjustments to prevent it from happening in the first place.
Excellent and informative article, John. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So moving on, Kendra, a different topic. Earlier this spring, the Medicaid tamper-resistant prescription paper law went into effect. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I'd be happy to. As of April of this year, CMS now requires that a written prescription for Medicaid-covered outpatient drugs be on tamper-resistant paper. Currently, tamper-resistant paper must contain at least one of three characteristics. First, it must have one or more industry-recognized features designed to prevent unauthorized copying of a completed or blank prescription form. Second, it must have one of the or more of these features designed to prevent the erasing or modifying of information written on the prescription pad by the prescriber. And third, it must have one or more of these features designed to prevent the use of counterfeit prescription forms. Now, as of October 1st of this year, a written prescription must contain all three qualities to be considered tamper-resistant.
That's great information. I think we can all appreciate how this approach will reduce prescription drug misuse and fraud. Where could one get more information if they needed it, Kendra?
If you need more information, you can go to the CMS website, or you can go to your Medicaid state agency, or you can ask us a question.
Okay, if this presentation were live, as Kendra suggests, you could indeed ask us a direct question using the red call button on your personal one-touch keypad. This interactive technology also gives us an opportunity to gauge how well you understand the new Medicaid prescription requirements Kendra just explained. Now let's take a look at our first question. As promised, it's a true or false question. To answer, select the appropriate button on the top row of your one-touch keypad. True or false? One required characteristic of tamper-resistant paper includes the use of industry-recognized features designed to prevent unauthorized copying of a completed or blank prescription form. Okay, as we mentioned at the top of the show, if this were live, you'd have the opportunity to consider this question and provide us with your input. Kendra and John, thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Todd.
And thanks also to the team at Daylight Forensic and Advisory, Jay Zanis Consulting, and One Touch Communications. From the National Geographic Studios in Washington, D.C., good afternoon.